Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I want to talk about something very important that I think happens to most self-aware narcissistic abuse survivors. And what I mean by self-aware is you now know what narcissism and narcissistic abuse is. You know you grew up in it and went through, unfortunately for most of us, a lifelong time of being narcissistically abused. And now you are coming out the other side, healing and much better than before. But here's the main troubling thing that can happen. And I believe it happens to most of us. Even if we are friendly and have a fun personality, or if we are introverts. Just the same, without even knowing it, we are so deep down inside scared it's going to happen again, that we walk away from people that haven't done anything wrong to us yet. Or we think in our heads about maybe meeting someone new. Maybe joining a group where we could possibly find someone we click with and possibly have a relationship with. And while thinking about such a scenario, we go over in our head the likelihood of being narcissistically abused again. You see, we've seen way too much. And I say that in regards to, it took away our innocence of people and the world. But in a good way. It allows us to know how people are, and how the world operates and functions. And when you figure all of that out, you can and will see narcissism and narcissistic abuse everywhere. You see, we live in such a culture where metaphorically backstabbing someone to get their position at work is considered fair play and survival of the fittest. Instead of people understanding this was done to us by the powers that be because they want a society of evil and narcissists. And one of the ways they do this is make it so most people have to have the hardest of times to provide a normal life for themselves and their family. So much so, it becomes easier and easier to adopt the ways of the narcissist to move forward in life. And we know it's really not forward, as those that are doing such things go against God. But the more they see the advancement they are making at work and in their finances and what they think they are getting out of life, they keep up with this narcissism thing because for them it's working. Until they finally become a full-blown narcissist. And I think from that standpoint, because narcissism is increasing, us being avoidant of some people and avoidant of some situations makes perfect sense. But what we have to understand is, before we know about this stuff, we literally had no boundaries. And now that we have found this place in our lives where we can clearly see narcissism and narcissistic abuse for what it is, we have so many boundaries we are scared off at even thinking about meeting someone or getting to know them, let alone actually getting to know someone. Even if we think we aren't scared by such a thing, our actions may show otherwise if we sit down and really think about it. And the truth is, ending up in this type of boat, in my humble cartoon opinion, is our first narcissistic abusers winning over our lives. Because they are still affecting us. Think about some of the men and women both that have been in the news for allegedly putting bad stuff in their spouse's drink or food with the intent of deleting them from planet Earth. Think about those that survived. And think about those that didn't make it and aren't living anymore. What their family and friends must be thinking. And how hard it would be to trust anyone. There was this blonde woman a few years back that planned her own kidnapping. And she duped her ex-boyfriend into helping her out. And she acted her way through the entire thing. Until it was revealed she was completely full of it. When the police interviewed all kinds of people that knew her, when they were still out searching for her whereabouts, half of the people said she was always making up stuff, and the other half of people said she was an angel practically. Well, it turned out she was making stuff up, unfortunately. And when it was revealed to the husband, while at the police station, the husband said, at this point I don't want her around me at all, nor around our kids. Why? Why would he say that? Just because he was mad? No, because he probably felt completely and utterly unsafe around her. Now, though many people like this can keep their mask on as long as it takes for them to feel comfortable, I'm pretty sure this woman's now ex-husband, I'm pretty sure he caught his now ex in conflicting stories here and there when they first met and first started to date. Now, this isn't saying anything bad about him. But here's the thing, he and we likely did. We chalked up these things to misunderstandings. And in the grand scheme of things, they are overall a decent person. When he and we should have listened to our guts. But when something so horrific happens, here's the thing I see. These men and women that do this mess, they seem to have everything. But their narcissism has to mess it all up for everyone. This is how you know they are disordered. They have to mess things up royally bad. No matter how good their situation is. And this is the thing. It's okay if someone is being kind to you. Maybe they aren't love bombing you. Maybe they are just being kind and they really do like being around you and they are trying to build something with you. The key is when you see inconsistencies. Or if they won't object to too much too soon. Meaning, let's say you meet someone and you are on your third date. And they want to buy you something expensive or they want to take you on a trip. This might be a red flag of narcissism. But this might also be a red flag they don't know how to properly date and get to know someone. Either way, you can politely reject said offer. And let them know you don't know them well enough to accept such a gift or offer. That should be an alarm bell in your mind to go off. But if you keep seeing them and they curb their behavior, but then next month they are right back at it again. And then they get mad at you because you won't let them love bomb you basically. Then you have your answer. The main key in most, not all, but most cases, is to give the narcissist enough rope to metaphorically hang themselves with it. And so they show you who they really are. You don't have to play games. Because games are petty and games will make it hard to get to know someone for real and to enjoy the process. But just have your boundaries. And if they push your boundaries and or get mad at you for them, then you know there is a problem on their end and your instincts were right. Now, at the same time, you have to be reasonable in your thinking too. If you've known each other for a while, and things are going well, and let's say they got a super good deal to take a cruise somewhere, and it's within your budget, and like I've said, you've known each other for a good while, and things have gotten to that place in a natural and organic way, you might choose to go. But here's the thing we are waiting for. And it's the thing during the entire process, and it's why many of us throw in the towel before we even have a chance to know someone. Is we are waiting for the other shoe to drop. We are waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because with the narcissist there is always some sort of catch. And it doesn't matter if the catch shows up at the time the situation is happening or if it happens 6 months later. You see, early on in my getting to know my ex Susie, she acted like, and I stress acted like, finances weren't a big issue for her. I've never been rich. I work hard to take care of myself like most of us here. And I would do nice things. Or things I felt were nice. For Susie while we were first dating. But something happened. I got laid off from work. And things were a bit tight for myself financially. I told her this. And she said not to worry. She actually went out of her way to do something nice for me. I felt embarrassed to receive such kindness. But then thought about it. And felt like, wow, she really cares. But not even a month later. It was her birthday. And I was still interviewing for possible new jobs. And on unemployment. Which only gives you a fraction of what you would get paid from a normal job. While looking for a new job, Now I still did something nice for her. But it was a bit more creative and less costly. Simply because I couldn't afford it. Right at that moment she seemed disgusted with me and disgusted with the situation. Now, my first instinct and the thing I did that I should have followed through with was. And that was telling her to take a hike. But she cried and said she was sorry. Yes. During this stage a narcissist will apologize if they feel that you are good prey and supply. And they want to keep you on the line a bit longer. So they can really sink in their abuse. She made up some stupid excuse as for her bad behavior. And guess what? I gave her a chance. Just like many of you gave a chance to the person or people you were with. You see. The problem wasn't me dating Susie in the first place and trying to get to know her. The problem wasn't that she did something nice for me either. The problem was when it all became clear it was all done for manipulation purposes. I gave her a second chance to abuse me. You see. Contrary to what people believe, relationships are easy. The reason why people say they are hard and a lot of work is to make you feel like you should jump through hoops and accept abuse from others. And let me tell you what. Narcissists love slogans like relationships are hard. And that it's normal to fight and argue with those you love. Simply put. It's an excuse they use to put you through hell. But here's how you know. Or you can have an idea that someone is just trying to get to know you for you. And they are just being kind to you. If you don't want to talk about something you feel like they don't need to know at this point because it's too early. Just say so. And if they respect you they will. They will fully understand. Not understand today. And next week they flip out on you for the same or similar talking point. If they do something nice for you. And it fits the situation and time frame you've known them for. And even if you believe it might fit. But you are still a bit uncomfortable accepting such a gift or gesture. They will understand why and they won't push it. Yes. Narcissists can keep their mask on for a long time if needed. And there have been instances from what we can see where this happened. But the truth is even in those cases. I'm pretty sure there was some looking back and seeing things for what they were. I haven't seen a situation or talked to a person that said, I was with so and so for literally 30 years and there was zero, and I do mean zero, signs of anything wrong. Now this doesn't mean they weren't good at covering their tracks, because they might have been. And the more victims the narcissist has, the more good they get at hiding their tracks. But just like Susie and her acting really poorly to her not getting the birthday she thought she should get. When just a month before, she was being super kind. And so-called loving to me, losing my job and even helpful. And doing nice things. These are what seems to be small things that most narcissistic abuse victims overlook. Not our fault. Because we didn't know at the time. But most of us have had similar experiences. Maybe they put us on a pedestal for our accounting skills. Maybe you're good with numbers. And they would love to ask you questions about this and that in regards to numbers and figuring things out. Then one day, they pull a switcheroo. And they put you down and make fun of you and say you are wrong at this, that and the other. And they ask a stranger on the street to double check your work. There should be no trying to figure out why they did such a thing. And accepting an apology after they do. But it's something as simple as this that most of us went along with. The point is, I get and understand why it's so scary to talk to another person after what we went through. And I know there are some that might say, I don't want to talk to anyone anymore. But the truth is, that's not the norm. It doesn't mean you're wrong or what you are feeling is bad or anything. But I talk to many people that would love to have a connection with someone, but they are just too scared when it comes down to actually doing it. And rightfully so. And rightfully so. But what I can say is this. Don't let the narcissists that caused you this great harm in your life rob you of love and the enjoyments of life. Something I have to remind myself of every day. Just know. Most narcissists will show themselves. Just let them talk. And you will see where the hot and cold treatment starts. Or when they want to overreach with something such as a gift that doesn't make sense. Because though love bombing is indeed a real thing, so are nice people. Or kind people might be a better way of saying it. You know, when I'm at the store and I feel like I want to hold the door open if it's not one of those automatic doors. For an elderly person or someone with a disability, or woman pushing her baby in a baby stroller. Or just an average person, man or woman. I do it because I prefer to be kind to people. I don't do it because I want something back from them. I do it because I want to. Well, narcissists have done their job on us and many others. To where we see every kind gesture as having a motive behind it. And hey, we might be right. We might be. But it also might just be them being kind or nice. And we'll know. We'll know if it's not. Because that switcheroo will happen soon enough. And when it does, try not to be too shocked. But even if you are, try not to react to them. And let them see it hurt you. And just be too busy to ever deal with them again. You see, if they really cared and if they didn't have an agenda, something like that would never happen. No matter if it's a friend or no matter if it's someone you are dating. Yes, it's okay to vet someone. But it's not okay to play games with someone. There's a big difference. Vetting someone is to see how they behave over a period of time to develop some sort of trust. Because the only person I blindly trust is Jesus the Christ. But you can develop over time a level of trust with someone. But it does take time, but you shouldn't play games with them in doing so. Because here's the problem. Because it can be very tempting to play these games. If you are truly dealing with a loving and kind person, they will feel that you are playing games with them. And you will end up hurting them. Just like a narcissist in the past hurt you. So what do? You realize you are worthy of good and loving treatment. And your possible want or need to be around at least one person in your life is completely normal. Narcissists and the rest of the world want to isolate you and make you feel like it's not normal. But it is. And again, there are those that don't like people, period, and I get it. But the vast majority of people out there, even if they say they never want to deal with someone else ever again, eventually they too get lonely and desire to have a friend or someone to date. But many of us in the situation that have been narcissistically abused, not only self-sabotage other successes in our lives, no matter what they are, because it's all we know to do for many of us. We might push away someone that is just trying to treat us kindly. Someone that might actually see us as having worth. But remember, we've been treated worthless for so long. It's extremely unbelievable that someone actually believes we have some sort of value. So surely, whatever nice thing they are doing for us has to have a catch. Maybe. But maybe not. You know, the person that dated Susie before me was only with her for in between 3 to 6 months. He made up some random excuse to get away from her. And from what I know, he's happily married and has a family with someone else. But the key in what he did is he didn't go rounds and rounds with her. She pulled her mess and he was out. And it's okay for you to do the same. And it's okay that you get to know people too. Because remember, relationships are easy. The people you meet today don't change on a dime tomorrow or 2 years from now. And if they do, it's not up to you to figure them out. But who knows? Maybe this person understands you have boundaries and just likes you for you. It is possible. Something to think about. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.